Men are conditioned to be self-centered. They're conditioned to see themselves as the center of their world, and everything revolves around them. Their emotions are more important. Their jobs are more important. Their dreams and their desires and their passions are more important. Their thoughts, their opinions, their perspectives, everything about a man they're taught to center themselves and prioritize themselves and see themselves at the middle. Women tend to be conditioned to be caretakers, to see other people as the center, and specifically the man that they serve. It could be their dad, or it could be a husband, it could be a pastor, it could be a politician, right? But our society conditions women to see themselves as support characters, not main characters. So when you get in a romantic relationship, the goal cannot be equal partnership, because there is a movement that needs to happen. Men have to move from being self-centered and prioritizing themselves and centering themselves, and women have to move from prioritizing and centering others. So there has to be, like, in order to balance it, women have to become more selfish and men have to become more selfless. So it's not like the goal can't be center of the road, because both of them have to counteract the internal programming that they carry, right? Balance is actually pendulum swinging over here and pendulum swinging over here, so that you can counteract the programming that you already carry in your mind. And then eventually, over time, it will even out to more of a balance. But as you get started, you really have to pendulum swing to opposite sides of how you were conditioned. So this might be a hot take, but women, I really think you need to prioritize yourself. Be more selfish. And men, you need to be okay with that. And you need to be selfless. Prioritize them, center them.
A very unique point of view that most women don't think. I have to enlighten women, because women don't know men. And the reason women don't know men is because from the time that they was born, they've been brainwashed with Disney movies that romanticize y'all. They have been in these churches where they have been conditioned, right, on how to behave with y'all, but they don't ever say who y'all really are. They just say this is how it's supposed to be. A man's supposed to provide and protect. They don't tell you who the male is, what makes them even come to that conclusion, right? So they romanticize everything about y'all, not knowing who you are at the core.
Are the women really emotionally trapped by the man? Hello guys, and welcome back. How are you guys doing? Thank you for tuning in. I bet y'all doing good. Let's jump into today's gist, because the men in the building, y'all gotta come forward. Y'all gotta be seated in the front. This is for y'all, because it is being discussed online, and for sure we gotta bring it down here. Credit to the creators for giving us this opportunity to add our comment. Go down there in the comment section. As usual, let's make this interesting, educational, and fun. Are the women really emotionally trapped by the man? Now, the question is, before we even go ahead, let's put out a disclaimer. Not all men are self-centered. Not all men are self-centered. Let's put that out there. So, this is not for all the men, but some men, yes, some men, but not all, that they are emotionally trapped. I am going to be rolling your clips, and what surprised me the most is missing men, even in these clips that I'm a roll, y'all, that they are coming out to, you know what I mean? Like, okay, what is going on? Are the men really trapping the women emotionally, and they knew it? That's the question. And they knew it? Let's roll the tapes, then we're going to add more commentary at the end of it.
This is why a lot of women assume doing more for him, being loyal to him, being his ride or die is going to earn his loyalty. This is why a lot of women end up disappointed, because they assume that men think like we do. They assume, well, he is going to empathize with this emotional, mental, and spiritual experience that I'm going through being in love with him. But men will never understand that experience. And this is why they're able to leave relationships even after the woman has done everything for him and not feel bad about it at all. Not to say that men are bad people, but this is to give you a better understanding of not putting so much weight on how much you do for him and putting more weight on what your needs are in a relationship and getting your needs met and benefiting from that relationship.
Are not more logical than women, they simply lack empathy in the aspect of if a man and a woman is arguing and the woman is giving the man points on why she's feeling a certain way and the man is giving the woman logic on why she shouldn't be feeling a certain way and he is not understanding why she's feeling that certain way, that doesn't mean that he is more logical and she's being more emotional. That simply just means that he is lacking empathy. Not more logical than women, they simply lack empathy in the aspect of if a man and a woman is arguing and the woman is giving them.
Men wake up every day and try to validate themselves and each other through the control and manipulation of women. That's all it boils down to. Think about it. The idea that men and women are created equal, yet men need to be leading women, is fundamentally flawed. Think about all the things and the attributes that you would give to your mom. Oh, she's the strongest person I know. She's fearless. I don't know what I would do without her. Yo, she's the backbone of that shit applies to all women. They don't need to be led. Lead yourself. You have no discipline. You have no purpose. You have no sense of community, no moral compass. All the raping and killing and corruption and thieving and all that shit ties back to the man with no purpose. The word you're looking for is insecure. If you worried about what somebody else is doing in their pursuit of happiness, you're insecure. Your friends won't tell you. Your mama ain't gonna tell you. Your grandma ain't telling you. I'ma tell you. The fragile male ego is how the world got to be the way it is. So let's get a word of break.
This is getting crazy. For the men to come out and have their thoughts to this conversation just validate the point that even the men, some men, y'all know we said some men, not all men. Men understands that they got some self-settlement among themselves. You know what I mean? For them to come out and have their thought to this, yes, now it is time for the ladies to just step up. And if you identify that your man is self-centered, you just gotta voice up. You just gotta speak up. You just gotta have a conversation with him. The life is not all about you. That's why we are calling these a partnership. So it gotta move to you and move to me. You gotta be ready to listen to what I say to it. You know what I mean? Women just gotta be able to speak up and have a conversation with their man. If you cannot have a conversation with your man and your man ain't ready to listen, that means he is not ready to change. But you know what? I am gonna leave you with this next clip, which is I think it's powerful. Because it's one thing for you to have a man that is self-centered. It is another thing for you to identify that man is self-centered, and it is another thing for you to try to find a solution to that. For that guy, and that's if he's ready. I am gonna see you on the next one. Catch up with this next clip, and I will catch up with you guys in the next one. Bye for now.
In my opinion, the number one reason why men don't actually experience genuine empathy is because they are too wrapped up in trying to maintain their gender. Men live their entire lives trying to prove their manhood and hold on to it desperately, where they obsess about this role that they're trying to play in society.
And when they're unable to meet that social standard, they look to the women in their lives to feed them that validation. And when she can't keep up because it's like pouring into an endless bucket, she's told she doesn't love them, she doesn't appreciate them, and she's not putting in any effort. Towards the end of our relationship, when we were in couples counseling, my ex told the counselor that he didn't feel like a man in our relationship. That I used to look at him with the energy of pride and admiration, like, that's my man. But I didn't do that anymore, and it had been years since I'd done that, and because of that, he didn't feel loved and he didn't feel like a man. He didn't feel worthy or valuable within our relationship. And I know this because even in the dating advice that I subscribed to in my early 30s, I was told that in order for a man to fall in love with you, he needs to feel like a man when he's with you. He needs your admiration and your appreciation and your respect. He needs to feel like your hero, and go back and watch Nathan's account on the hero narrative. So when this came up in counseling, it left me feeling like, why is it my responsibility to make you feel like a man? If you want to feel like a man, if you want to feel good about yourself, then do things that make you feel good about yourself. But somehow socially, it has become a woman's responsibility to make a man feel like a man. Now, the problem that I see is that these men don't actually have their own concept of self. Like, they have no fucking clue who they are. They're just subscribing to some socially constructed definition of masculinity. And what that does is it causes them to reject many parts of themselves. But when we reject parts of our true self, we try to ground in other people. We search for identity and worth in the eyes of how other people see us, and this applies to everybody, not just men. So when I stopped looking at my partner with admiration and respect because he was behaving in ways that were not admirable nor respectful, because he lacked empathy in every other one of the higher executive functions that exist in the prefrontal cortex, it was reflected back to him. So then those feelings of shame washed all over him, and I was the problem because I was making him feel that way and I needed to fix it. But what he didn't realize, and what most men don't realize, is the icky feelings he was having wasn't because of me. It was because he was thinking in thoughts and behaving in ways that go against his true authentic self. They were his body's message saying, hey, your beliefs and values are fucked. It's time to self-reflect. In healing spaces, we learn that in order to feel whole, you must accept every part of yourself. So why do men not have empathy? Because they misunderstand the concept of self-acceptance. Self-acceptance isn't, this is who I am, take me or leave me. Self-acceptance is returning to your authentic self. Identifying that all of the maladaptive coping skills and faulty beliefs you developed come from a place of self-rejection. So you have to reverse it. You have to shed those things, because if you continue to engage in those things, you continue to self-reject. When you do that healing work and develop self-acceptance, you naturally develop empathy for others. I don't think the question is, how do we convince men that they need empathy? It's, how do we convince men that they need to do their emotional healing work? The sad reality is that we can't. People will do that work when they're ready.